Hopefully it won't be too echoey because I'm in my bathroom. Probably my favourite knit I have ever done. What I'm scared of is blocking it. That is why it's so kind of ridiculously cropped right now, because I was very scared. Well, one, I think the actual pattern is quite cropped anyway, but I was really scared that I would block and it'd be like down 20s or something. So I have definitely left room for it to grow, because it did gauge swatch because I was scared. It grew like instantly. So I am prepared for this to grow. I'm also scared that it's gonna bleed. I had seen some people say, like, if you're worried about that, pre-wash the yarn. I already dumped one of these I-cords in tea. That was the intro to this project. I think I deserve a smooth blocking journey. I'm very anxious about it, so I've got an iced coffee. But I want the body to grow a fair bit. Like, I wouldn't be too mad if it just grew a little bit, but I also wouldn't be mad if it grew quite a lot. When you tie it up at the front and the back, you can kind of control how it fits, like on the shoulder. The sleeves are not as short as I would have wanted them to be, because I am anticipating that they're going to grow quite a bit. So crossing my fingers on that. I'm praying that it doesn't bleed. That's probably like my biggest fear. I'm going to fold it when I put it in the bath, and this is probably not going to make any sense, but I'm going to block it in the bath instead of a sink or a bucket, because I think if the colours do bleed, they've got more room to bleed. I'm going to do that now, and then I'm going to put it on the blocking mats, and then I'll probably show you once it's dry, so wish me luck. I feel like every time I film these, it's like post tattoo session, and it's always a really long session, and it's always really hot. Don't want to sound like a broken record, but the weather, I cannot wait until the summer is over because it's just too hot. I'm not a hot weather person. I cannot wait for the rain. It's supposed to rain tomorrow. It's supposed to rain for like the rest of the week, but I feel like at the moment I just check the weather and then it keeps promising that it's going to end tomorrow, and then it never does. So we'll see. But I'm in the new studio and I really love it. It's got a lot more of like a warm, cozy feel. It's got a lot more going on, and I think that is because of the type of building that it is. Like, it's got different angles, and it's got like wood over here, open brick over there, and then some more wood. Like, it's got a lot more character than the other one. The other one was very much like blank canvas, do what you want with it, which I really loved. But I do like that this one has a lot more character without me having to actually do anything to it necessarily. I think I want to add some more like little fairy lights at some point. I might save that for like closer to Christmas time. I think now that I'm here, the idea of being back at my old place feels really wrong. So I'm really glad that I moved, even though I was really nostalgic and worried about it. I think I just needed at least a few sessions in this place. I think this is like my second day. And then I have two things to show. At the start of this video, I was stressing about my Bifurca pullover that I was about to block. I was also kind of rushing that segment of the video because I don't know if it comes across rushed or not, but my camera was about to die and my mic was about to die, so I was kind of just like speed running it. I used Malabrigo Rios, and it's a superwash merino, and I was really worried that it was going to grow massively because I've seen that happen a lot, and I was kind of stressed about it, but it was completely fine. Worked out completely fine. There is one blocking question that I have. Why is it, because I think there must be an actual reason as to why this is. Why is it that the sleeves grow so much longer than the body? Because the body did grow a little bit, but I had to like block it out to make it the way I wanted it. But the sleeves, I didn't even pin them. I wanted them to go down a little bit. I did realize that I had knitted them a little bit too long, but I just feel like sleeves with like every project grow really easily. Even if I don't want them to, but then the bodies don't always, or they need a little bit more like shaping to get them to do that. So I don't know, I just wondered if there is an actual reason why that happens, or we don't know. But I will show you. The Bifurca Pullover. It is. I'm obsessed with this so much. It's probably my favorite thing I've ever knit. I will try it on in a sec and take some clips so you can like see it on, but it is actually boiling, so I'm not gonna put it on right this second. But if you follow me on Instagram, my fiance took some really nice pictures for me, and that shows it off quite well as well. I love this yarn. I would definitely recommend it. It's like not the cheapest option, but I did find that it went quite far, so I think I ordered, I will change this somewhere on the screen if it's not true, but I think I ordered 2 pearl ones, which was like the contrast color. I definitely ordered 2 of those, and I think I ordered 6 of Scorpio, like the main color. I broke into like the 5th ball, but I know I've got a skein and a fairly decent ball left over. It's really, really, really soft. It does block out quite a lot. I knit this like you would have seen like the pre-block. It looked very cropped and like definitely not how I would have wanted it to fit, and it blocked out exactly as I thought it would. Like it's much more drapey and it's a lot longer. I do think I could have knit the sleeves a little shorter. I was panicking that I was gonna have like super long sleeve, but they're actually fine. 47 centimeters pre-block, which is almost about as long as I would have wanted them to be from the top of the colorwork to the end of the sleeve. And I think when I blocked them, they were like 60 centimeters. So I was like, oh my God, is this gonna be massive? But I do have really long arms, so it's fine. The pattern itself, I was really, really intimidated by, not because of the colorwork, but because of the construction. Like it's quite weird. Like, so it's sort of like knit down flat, but then in, I don't know what shape this would be, but it sort of like comes down either side. And then this was the bit that threw me and I was like, I don't even know if I'm doing this right, is the sides are like straight. I don't know if that makes any sense. Like side drape, if you know what I mean. Like the edges are longer than the center bit at the front and back. So really cool. Just trust the process. I think if you are doing the pattern and you feel like you don't know if you're doing it right, you probably are, because I at times was like, I have no idea what this means, but I'm just going to do as I'm told, and it worked out fine. I had like immediate drama with the I-cords, so I knit both of them and then I dunked one of them in tea, and obviously it's like a light coloured yarn. I've seen people do I-cords in like different ways, and I knit mine and then I attached them and just carried on with the pattern, and I think that's what the pattern suggests doing. But I have seen people knit the pattern and then just add yeah, I've seen people just like knit the neckline, I suppose you'd call it, first and then add I-cords on after the fact, which you could do. Length wise, I think I knit them about the recommended length of the pattern. It's not such a big deal. Like the ones, I've actually using this to tell me like what's the front and the back. The ones at the back are shorter than the ones at the front, and I think that's quite nice. It's also quite easy to just like pick up and carry them on if you do want them a bit longer, so I wouldn't really stress about that. I don't think there was any points in the pattern that I didn't really understand. I think it was very well written and it was very clear. Sometimes I find like with new constructions or new patterns, if I'm really struggling with it, the best thing I can do is just come away from it for a little bit and then go back, and it's not as difficult as I thought when I go back the second time. So if you decide to try out this pattern, or you are currently working on this pattern and there's anything that you're stuck with, please let me know. Or if you have any questions or anything like that, I'd be happy to try and answer them, because I found that it was a really good pattern and I think it can look intimidating, and I would encourage people to go for it anyway, because it's not as scary as it looks, and it looks really cool like afterwards. It's definitely probably one of the knits that I'm most proud of. It's definitely probably my favorite thing I've knit this year, if not my favorite thing I've knit ever, because I love the construction of it, I love the design of it, I love the colourwork, and I love the yarn that I used. So yeah, I guess that's a massive major mod that I did. I was inspired by Bayla and Danny. I'll put their Instagrams and Ravelries below. but they basically used a heavier weight yarn for this to make it like oversized and more slouchy, because the original one is quite fitted. So this is more of like a slouchy fit. I'm pretty sure they both used Malabrigo Rios as well, and I did a little bit of maths before just to work out roughly how big I thought it was going to be on me. I made a size 2. I think they made a size 3. I think a size 3 would have been fine on me. I think I maybe would have preferred the length of a size 3 because this is a little cropped. But I think the arms would have been too baggy. For me, that was like a big concern of mine, and I think I wanted it to sit on my shoulders. I didn't want it too off the shoulder slouchy. And I think if I'd have done a size 3, it would have been a little bit bigger. So I did do a size 2. Yeah. And my last like anxiety that I had that was really dramatic, and it didn't happen, was I was really worried that the colour was going to bleed, because this is like a hand-dyed yarn, I'm pretty sure. And I'd seen some people say that like the darker colours, and this is a pretty dark colour, bleeds into the lighter colours, and this is a pretty light colour. So I was really worried that I was going to block it. Cool. There's like a little nest of them like directly outside. Yeah, I was really worried that when I put it in the blocking water, it was all just going to go black, and this was going to absorb all of the colour, and I was going to have like the whole I-cord tee situation, but on a massive scale. Again, I guess if that had happened, I was like, well, I'll just have like a slightly lower contrast colourwork piece, but I didn't want that. And then the other thing that I made the other day was this little hat that my partner said looks like an acorn, and I agree. I'll have to put the name of the yarn, but it's a really nice yarn, and I found it in a charity shop. I found like 5 balls of it for £8, which was amazing, and there was like 1 ball that was already pre-wound, and I'm like wasn't sure how much was in there, so I decided to do something with it, and I didn't know what to do, so I made a little hat. This is like massively inspired by Megan Faith Makes blanket stitch beanie. It is essentially exactly that, but I knit it on a Sentro machine just real quick, and then I had never done a blanket stitch, and I just did like a little messy one, and I'm pretty happy with it. I love like the colours that are in the yarn, like they just look so cool, like the little flecks of red and white and yellow. If you have any suggestions on what I could make with this yarn, please let me know. I've got like 4 skeins of it probably, and I guess I could make a top, like a t-shirt, but then I was like, I don't know if I want to make one of those with a wool yarn. Like, does that make sense? So if you've got any suggestions on what I could make, bags even, I'm not against tops, so feel free to suggest them. I don't really want to make another hat with it because I've just made one. But yeah, I just need suggestions because it is a very warm yarn. So that's my other update. I've also ordered Knitting for Olive Heavy Merino in Bordeaux and Bark. It was so close to being Bordeaux and Dark Cognac, I think it's called, because I'm gonna knit a Frankie sweater. I've got like a massive list of things that I want to knit, and randomly got inspired to make a Frankie sweater. I mean, I've been seeing them for ages, but I'm not usually drawn to stripes. I don't know why. They just don't always look that good on me. But then I knit a striped jumper in January, which was the lace loop jumper. And I think because it had the lace, like mixing it up, I love that jumper. So I was like, maybe it'll be fine. And then I saw a lot of people making like low contrast Frankies, or like the stripes were like the same color in different tones. And I really, really liked that. The first one I saw that I loved was like dark green and like mossy green. And I was like, oh, that looks really cool. And then I saw dark pink and like a slightly lighter pink, and I really liked that. And I wanted an autumn project that felt autumny. It's August now. I think that's why I did this yesterday, because of the colours. And so I wanted like an autumn project. It's a raglan as well, because I was torn between the Frankie and the Olga, but I just decided I wanted to treat myself to a raglan sweater because I haven't made one of those in like over a year. And so I was like, I kind of want to do another one. I prefer the thinner stripes, I prefer the rolled neckline, so I was like, I want to do the Frankie. I've never used Knitting for Olive Heavy Merino. I've used their merino though, and I love that. So I am going to be casting that on soon. I'm gonna pet sit for my auntie in the forest again this weekend, so I'm really hoping that the yarn comes before the weekend so I can take it with me and knit there, because that would be really nice. But yeah, we'll see. I think I've ordered it directly from Knitting for Olive, because I did have a look at some UK based yarn shops, but they didn't have the colours that I wanted, and I kind of knew that I definitely wanted to do it with those two. So yeah, if you've used heavy merino before by Knitting for Olive, let me know your thoughts. I'm really excited to use it. I think I made a post of like autumn knits that I want to make, and it was a Frankie sweater, a Megan Faith's beanie, which I know this isn't that, but I mean it's close enough, so I'm going to mark that off as done. A Mew top, an Ingrid slipover by Petite Knit. I really want to cast this on, but I had a look at where I was going to get the Sandnes Garn Peer Gynt from, and I was going to get it from the Oxford yarn store or yarn shop, but they are completely out of stock of the colour that I wanted, or they've only got like 3 balls of it. I'm just going to hold off and wait. It did cross my mind to use a different yarn. It did cross my mind to use this yarn, which I might, but I don't know. But I really want to try that yarn. I've never tried it before, so I think I'm just going to wait and get the colour that I want from the brand that I want and try it that way. So I'm excited to cast that on. I'm going to be casting the Frankie sweater on hopefully this week, literally as soon as the yarn arrives. That's literally it. So I've got my Ingrid slipover, my Mew top, and my Frankie that I want to make, and I have made the beanie that I wanted to make. And then other than that, I had a really nice time in Wales. I got to visit the Arcade Wool Shop, which is probably one of my favourite wool shops to go to. Just had a nice chill, relaxing time, and it was a little bit cooler there as well, which I really enjoyed. Actually got to wear like jeans and not feel like I was dying in the heat, so that was really cool. I'm playing a lot of Let's Go Pikachu. It's a really cute game, and I've kind of like locked in on that at the moment, because my partner like collects cards and stuff, so I've kind of got into that too, which has been really fun. And I am just desperately waiting for the autumn. It's my birthday next month, which to me always like marks the start of autumn, because I think the 22nd of September is like the official first day of autumn. Might be wrong, but that's my birthday. So I always feel like, I don't know, I get into like the season. I would love to know your autumn knitting plans, if you've got any, or what you're currently working on, to give me more inspiration, because I am like kind of thinking I might be able to knit this Frankie really quickly. I don't know, maybe not, but I would like to think that I could. So maybe I could squeeze in one other project. So thanks for watching. Bye.